I could not resist. So, hi and welcome to this video. Today I want to do the Fantasy Booktube Tag. I'm not really sure if that's the actual name that it's called, but it's about fantasy book readers. So I think it's meet the fantasy reader tag or something. So, but I'm going to do it. And hi, so I have been tagged by the Nerdy Fox, so check out her videos if you want to. I will link her channel down below. I forgot to say that. I'm very sorry, I'm not very organized when doing things in general, so I hope you can forgive me being messy. Yeah, so I've brought some chocolate, because honestly this is the best chocolate out there. I really like this chocolate. Also, I brought my bouncy ball, so I'm back to bouncing. Yeah, so let's get into it. Okay, so the first question is, what is your favorite book? To that I have to say, I don't know. It's just, I don't think that I have this one favorite book that I love and that I think is better than all the other books. I have a few favorites which I really like, but I think most of them are going to come up later when it's about my favorite fantasy series. I have to pass on that one, but I'll come back to favorites when I'm talking about fantasy series. So the second question is, what book do you hate? And first of all, I have to say hate is a very strong word. I don't really hate books. I don't see any reason to hate books. I think you can hate dictators of fascism, but I don't think there's a reason to hate a book. At least not any of those that I've come across. I just read it as what kind of books do you, or what book do you dislike? I think for me, I really tend to strongly dislike fantasy books that are rooted in sexism. So that books that have their medieval kind of setting and that they use to justify violence against women, where they are like, oh yeah, but it's okay because during that time that was natural. And I really don't get that, because in your fantasy world, also hi there, son. In your fantasy world, you can do whatever the hell you like, so why make a world sexist? So one of those books that didn't really have sexism in it, but that I really disliked because of how it handled I remember the only kind of relevant female character was, I think it's the Lightbringer series. I only read the first book and I didn't finish that. I DNF'd that because of the fact how, I think Karis was her name, how her character was handled. So she appeared to be strong and useful in the beginning, but then she, at one point, she got captured by a very vile man, and he was like, I think he was like, I will marry you or something like that, and I really disliked that. So I think that book, I don't like that book. So I've never read on in the series, just because of that simple fact. And I prefer books who are just treating both genders equally. So yes. So question number 3, what is your favorite series? So to that I have to say it's the Divine Cities trilogy. I think I've said that a few times before, but I really like the series and I'm always pushing it on people. So I'm always like, read that series, it's really great. So I think my favorite book from that series would be the second book, because the main character of that book is General Mulagesh, and she's my favorite character from that series. So maybe that counts as a favorite book. But yeah, I really enjoyed the series, and I can only recommend it. It took me a while to finish it though. I don't really know why. I bought the third book, I think, just when it came out. But I've never read it until last year. So it has been sitting on my shelf for quite a while. I don't know why. Maybe I was afraid that it wouldn't finish in a way that I was hoping for, even though I've only heard great things about the final book in the series, the City of Miracles. So yeah, I really like that series. I can only recommend it. Another series that I really like is Mistborn Era 1. I haven't read Era 2 yet. I want to. Right now I'm in the middle of a reread for Mistborn. I've finished the first 2 books. I still have to buy the third one because I only have the Kindle version, and I don't really like to read ebooks anymore. But I really enjoy Mistborn Era 1. That's one of my favorite series as well. And I think I'm gonna go with those 2. So question number 4, paperbacks or hardcover? So that depends, I would say. So generally I prefer paperbacks because they tend to be smaller. So yeah, but there's a difference between German and English books. So in Germany you would usually have paperbacks that are, just let me find one. So in Germany paperbacks are usually that size, so they are really small and handy, and you can put them in your pocket. We don't have something like paperbacks and mass market paperbacks, so it's just paperbacks. But in the last few years, even in Germany, there have been books that have gone bigger as a paperback book, but they have those floppy things where you can put your map, and they tend to be more expensive. So I think that's why they do it, just to make a bit extra money. I mean, in the back it's colored, but it's just some advertisement for the rest of the series. So this is the first book in the Fast Year trilogy, the German version. And yeah, so I don't really like those. So for the English versions, we have something like the Stormlight Archive, which is this kind of big, fat, small thing, which looks like that. It's the only book which looks like that. Oh my god, it's really damaged. It looks like I have read it a billion times already, and I've thrown it around a lot, which I haven't. I tend to be very careful with my books most of the time. But yeah, I don't like how that turned out. But I do like those floppy paperbacks, so which you can put down like that. And yeah, so this is City of Brass, which also looks like I've treated it very badly. But yeah, I like those paperbacks because I can just put them down and I don't have to hold them while I'm reading. But I also like hardcovers. And again, for a German hardcover, so German hardcovers are something like this, so they are not very big. They're usually quite small, actually. And English hardcovers are those huge murder machines. What the hell? I mean, I can kill someone with that one. So I just learned that Jade War has a paperback version. Why don't I have that? Why do I have this brick of a book? It's huge. Why is it so huge? I don't know. Yeah, but back to the question. Why am I showing you all those books? I don't know. So I don't care. I will pick up whatever I can get because my local bookstore does not have everything in stock, so I will just take what I can get. I just realized how unnecessary it was for me to show you all those books. But anyways, also I should not put that above my heating system. So, 5th question, what popular book do you not like? Don't you like? So for that I have the Throne of Glass series. I've only read, and I haven't finished again, the first book in the series, Throne of Glass, by Sarah J. Maas. I did not like that book, mostly because, okay, I'm not the biggest YA reader usually, and also the protagonist was so annoying that I couldn't continue reading this book because she was just the most annoying person ever. She was like, yeah, I'm the best, and she never did anything useful. And she was just complaining all the time, so I really didn't like that. And I've never read the series because I don't think that I will like it. So I also don't read stuff like A Court of Thorns and Roses, which is also insanely popular. But I don't expect to like it, so I won't pick it up. I'm not a person who likes to read stuff that I think I will not enjoy. For me, that seems like a waste of time. So yeah. Also, I've got another recent one, which I will be talking about in my wrap-up video, which I will film and upload next week. That is Legendborn. So Legendborn has been insanely popular on YouTube lately, and everyone's like, oh, Legendborn, this is the hottest shit ever. And I was reading this and I did not feel it. So I'm very sorry for that. If there are any Legendborn fans out there, this book is not for me. So this is a more recent one. I didn't enjoy it at all. So yeah, those two. So question number 6, what is your Hogwarts house? I'm a Hufflepuff. So I always knew I don't think I wanted to be anything else, because Hufflepuffs, they are the house where for me, it feels like you can just slack off. So it seems like in Hufflepuff, there's all those nice people you can hang out with. And so considering that I would not be Harry Potter in the Harry Potter story, so I would just be a regular student at Hogwarts, and I wouldn't want my life to be in danger all the time, so I'd just be in Hufflepuff, chilling out, hanging out with my dudes, and just going through school stuff, and being lazy, and hanging out, reading books, whatever. So yes, Hufflepuff, no questions asked. Okay, question number 7, what character would you like to hang out with? I think a character from a book that I read recently would be Gideon from Gideon the Ninth. She seems like a chill person, so I think I could get along with her, because she's like a very tall and muscular. Okay, no, that's not the reason, but she seems like a nice kind of person, so I'd like to hang out with her. Yeah, also Shara from the Divine Cities trilogy, because she seems very nice too. So she has done some bad things, but overall she appears like your typical bookworm with glasses. She's short, and she seems like a cute person. Can you say that? I don't know. But yeah, her as well. So question number 8, what character would you not like to hang out with? I think, so I'm just going general here. I think I wouldn't like to hang out with all those angry, bitter YA lady protagonists. So like the girl from Throne of Glass, Cersei, no, that's not her name. I don't remember what her name was. I wouldn't like to hang out with her. She's annoying. Also, I think all the characters from Nevernight, they are way too edgy for my taste, and they would be like, death, blood, torture, suffering, and I would be like, yeah, sorry, I'm leaving. So yeah, I don't like those angry people who are on their seats all the time because they just can't take kindness very well. It just seems so exhausting to surround yourself with those kinds of people, and also edgy people. Number 9, favorite fantasy TV series, fantasy show. I don't know if you can call it a cheat, but I will go with Moribito, Guardian of the Spirit, which is a Japanese anime from 2009 or something. I don't know, so it's not that recent. And it's also based on a series of children's books by, I think her name is Nahoko Uehashi. We'll put her name somewhere. So this is I think like 10 or 12, 14 book series, but only 2 of them have been translated to English, and none of them have been translated to German. So I've read the first 2 books, and I really enjoy them because they are not your super flashy, super powerful kind of books. So the books are about Balsa, who is like a bodyguard. She is, I think in the beginning of the series, she's in her late 20s or her early 30s. I don't really remember, but she's not very young. And in the story, she has to protect a prince from this certain kingdom who is... So in his body, there's a kind of a spirit egg or something. So I really like the series. But so the anime series adapts the first book in the series and also adds some extra material so to stretch the series. So this was very unnecessary, but overall this is a great series, and I think if you like anime or fantasy in general, you should check it out. So number 10, who's your favorite author? So I have to cheat this one again because like I said in the first question, I don't really do favorites that much. So I've never been a fan of a certain celebrity and or an actor. I don't really care about actors at all. Just based off the fact which author I've come back to again and again, I would have to go with Brent Sanderson, because he has written Mistborn, which I really liked. Then he's written Stormlight, which I really liked. I have read the Rithmatist. I've also, so there's Skyward is on my shelf. I will read that. I've read something else. Don't know. But he's the author the Steelheart with those superhero thingies. What was Reckoners? Yeah, I think it was Reckoners. So I've been coming back to Sanderson again and again, and I've always enjoyed his work. So I think I would have to go with Sanderson by default. But usually I just pick up books. I don't really care about the author. I just care about the themes and the book itself. And yeah, but let's say Sanderson. Okay, I'm sorry, this video is going to be super long. Question 11. What fictional world would you like to visit? I have a few that I would like to visit. First one, I would have to name Piranesi by Susanna Clarke. So the character in this book is in this house, which is full of Greco-Roman architecture, and there's always statues everywhere, and there's the sky above, and there's water down below. And I think this place would be very aesthetically pleasing, and it is also very adventurous. So there's not that many dangers, so you would be quite safe in this place. So you just have to make sure you don't get swept away by the tide, but other than that, you're fine. So I would like to visit that place. I would also like to visit... Okay, so let's get into anime territory again. I would also like to visit the Digiworld from Digimon Adventures, so the first series, because it's also kind of a strange and bizarre world. So for example, there is a desert, and then there are some random vending machines standing around, and they also are in a hot springs area, and they come across a fridge full of eggs and stuff like that. So I really, really enjoy these kind of things. So yeah, I would like to visit that place as well. So question 13, what fictional item would you like to have? Maybe a broom, which you can fly around on, or maybe... I don't think I would need that often, but maybe a shard blade, which you can just summon at will, and then I could cut things. But that would also be dangerous. So lately this happened to me a few days back when I tried to slice cake. So I just cut off part of my fingertip. So maybe that would not be the safest item for me. Do animals count? Are animals things? Items? I would also like this, so I'm not a big Avatar fan, but from the Korra series, she has this ice bear dog. I'd like to have that one. That's a cool thing. But it's not a thing. But maybe it counts as an item, so I don't know. So question 14, what is your favorite magic system? I don't really have one. Let me check again. Okay, I guess I'm better at that game because I don't really have a favorite magic system. I like, what's his name? I'm bad with names. From the Stormlight Archive. Again, sorry. The assassin guy. What's his name? Seth. That's his name. So he has those cool powers where he can make up, below, and the side below, and left and right, and I think that's really cool. I suppose I like Allomancy from the Mistborn series, so, but it's not like I love them with all my heart. I'm not that big on magic systems. Or maybe One Piece. I really like the devil fruits, so the powers you get from them are quite cool because they're really diverse. And it sucks that you can't swim after that, but it's not that extensive. But I like that. Let's go with those. And the final question, so I made it. What myths about the fantasy genre would you like to see broken down? So for that I have to say that I have the feeling that fantasy books in general are treated like a lesser form of literature, and that I think those kind of boundaries are breaking down at the moment, a bit at least. So I have the feeling that especially in Germany, we don't treat fantasy books with that much respect. And that if you buy a fantasy book, you're not a real reader, you just read some kids' stories and stuff like that, which is very sad because fantasy is so, you can get so creative. I can give you an example. So here we have the Midnight Library, which I read, I think, a month ago. So this is marketed as a Roman in German, which just means novel. And it very clearly, so it's a fantasy book because it's about a woman who gets to experience different lives that she could have led. And for me, that's a fantasy book because that's not anything that can happen. And they decided to market this as like a general novel because they wanted a different market for that book. Plain and simple. So they didn't say, oh, this is a fantasy book, but they said this is a novel, but it has fantasy elements in it. So I think the boundaries are already not that big and not that there. So yeah, I think it's just marketing, and I think that it's really sad that this book couldn't be marketed as a fantasy book and would have gotten the same audience that it probably did. So yeah, just make fantasy something that we can enjoy without having to feel guilty because we think we don't read the right books and read lesser books or something. So I would like that to go away. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I have the feeling that I have been doing many tech videos lately, and if you're looking for different content, I'm very sorry, but I enjoy making those videos because they are really fun, because you have those questions and you can think about them. Yeah, but I will come back to books, the real books. I've been talking about books. I don't know what I'm saying, so let's end this. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did not, I'm very sorry, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye!